Good morning, guys. It's Easter Sunday. You won't see this till Thursday, but happy Easter. I hope you had a great day. It's RBSG time. So if you want to see whose month it is, what the word they got was, and what we're doing, stick around. I'll be right back. Thanks for wanting to stick around and hang out with me for a little bit, guys. So RBSG, Random Beauty Support Group. We get a bunch of people together. Each person in the group gets assigned a month. When their month comes up, we randomly generate a word for that person. We send them their word. They decide what they want us to do with that word. It can be any word. We just randomly generate a word. The word I got, because it's my month, is wrong. I was like, wrong? How do you turn a makeup look into wrong? And then I thought about it a little more, and I was like, we can turn a makeup look into wrong by talking about what it is that people tell us is wrong based on your age, based on lots of things, your size, whatever. They can tell you, oh, you shouldn't wear that. You shouldn't put this on. You shouldn't, no, people just tell you based on different things what you're doing wrong. And so I told the ladies, I said, let's talk about that and do a makeup look. So that's what we're gonna do, you guys, because lots of times, I'm 52, right? So you always hear you shouldn't wear liquid foundations anymore. You shouldn't wear eyeshadow anymore. You shouldn't wear shimmers. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that because you're too old. Says who? Says who? Says who? I make the rules for my face. I make the rules for my eyes. I make the rules for my body. So I can do whatever the hell I want. All right, so today we're going to be using the Nomad Tokyo palette because today's Easter, and I thought, let's play with some color. Let's play with some color. This is what she looks like. I think this is going to make the perfect Easter look. I just got to figure out which shades I want to use for said Easter look. I'm struggle busting, guys. I don't know. I think I might go in with this shade and this shade, and then maybe put this shade on the lid. Let's play around a little bit. I have to work today, so it's probably not a good idea to play around a little bit, but we're going to do it anyway. So, I always hear like these rules about makeup, that when you're a certain age, you don't want to do this because it'll like intensify the wrinkles and crinkles on your eyes. And while that is possible, that certain shades will, make certain things stand out, what would you care? You know what I mean? It's my face. If my wrinkles tend to stand out a little bit more, or whatever is going on with my eyes tends to stand out more, then what is it to, like, I just don't understand the judgment of people telling people what they should or shouldn't do with their hair, their makeup, their clothes. I think that you should do whatever you feel comfortable doing. You know what I mean? So if you feel comfortable wearing short skirts and tank tops, go for it. I personally, when I was younger, hells yeah. Now that I'm older, of my own decision, I just don't feel comfortable, wearing tank tops and mini skirts anymore, especially since I got my baby belly, my little baby pooch. If I lost my little baby pooch, I might consider, wearing crop tops or whatever, but I don't know, it's just not my thing anymore. I've gotten to the point where it's like, why? Why do I need to show everything? You know what I mean? Maybe I should be a little more modest and leave things to the imagination, you know, instead of just flaunting it all. If people want to do that, that's up to them, you know. But it's just not who I am anymore. We learn, grow, and change in life. And there may come a day where I don't want to wear makeup anymore or not as much makeup anymore. But that day is not today. And I don't see it happening anytime soon because this is my me time, my happy time. And I wear what makes me happy, what makes me feel good. Does my makeup always turn out perfectly every day? No. But for the most part, I think that my makeup looks come together really nice. And I do get compliments when I do some of my eye looks. You know, I'll go to work and I'll have a certain kind of shimmer shade on my lid or whatever, and somebody will be like, your makeup looks really nice today. Thank you. Thank you very much. I've never had, like, I don't think that anybody would personally come up to me and tell me, you're too old for that. Because I'd be like, excuse me? Better step off, or we're going to have some problems. All right, now what shade was I going to do? That, like, tealy blue shade. Put it right next to this one. I just need to find a brush. I'm going to use this brush right here. And we'll see how this works. And I'm going to tap that off and just put it right next to this purple and see how it blends together. But what are some things that people tell you you're wrong? Like, honestly, in my relationship for 15 years, I was told I was wrong about this, I was wrong about that, I was wrong, the way I drove was wrong, the path home that I took was wrong, the way that I, you know, cooked dinner was wrong. Like, when I cook dinner, it tastes just fine to me. I don't understand what was wrong with, you know what I mean? Maybe it doesn't suit your taste, but I just wouldn't do that to somebody. I wouldn't tell them that they're wrong. You know, if they feel comfortable with how they're doing something, if they cook and it tastes delicious to them, who am I to tell them? You know what I mean? Like, if you got a problem with it, do it yourself then, you know? I never really said that to my ex because I was too afraid to say it. But, you know, and then I just don't understand why people have to be so judgmental about things that they don't agree with, you know? Let people live their life if they're not hurting anybody, and wear what you like. If you feel comfortable in it and you feel confident, then that's what you should do. You should never let anybody else tell you what you can and can't do at whatever age or whatever the situation might be, where somebody would tell you you shouldn't do something. You know, I mean, of course your parents are going to tell you things that you shouldn't do because it's their job to protect you, you know, and they're not telling you you shouldn't do it, like makeup. Like, they're not going to tell you you can't wear makeup because of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, guys. Because that's like, well, you're young, you know, your parents should tell you, you know, because they don't want you to grow up too fast. And a lot of people, hopefully this is going to show up, this moshi. Let me spray the brush a little bit. Hopefully I don't get any fallout. But your parents tell you because they don't want you to grow up too fast and get yourself in certain situations because you're trying to grow up too fast, you know, like wearing a lot of makeup. People might think you're older than you are, and you might end up in a situation that you don't want to be in. You know what I mean? So they have to protect you as your parent. But once you are an adult, like, I guess it just depends on the situation. But for me, like, telling me that I shouldn't wear shimmer shades because I'm in my 50s, just, that's bonkers to me. Who are you to tell me what I can and can't do with my makeup? I just, you know, like if somebody was to come into the comments of your videos and, you know, say stuff like that, like, it must be nice to be behind a keyboard and go to somebody's video and say something about how they do their makeup. Like, really? Come on, man. Who are you? Who made you judge and jury, you know? What people do on their face is completely and totally up to them. And how you wear your hair. You know, some people might think things about me when I wear my space buns and say I'm too old to wear space buns, or I'm too old to wear pigtails or braided pigtails. You know what? I feel cute when I do my hair like that, so I'm going to keep doing it like that. So keep your opinions to yourself. You know, everybody can have an opinion, but that doesn't mean you need to voice the opinion. You can keep those opinions to yourself, especially if it's not affecting your life. How is it affecting your life? How someone else does their hair, makeup, what kind of clothes they wear? It doesn't affect you in any way. So mind your business and let people do what they want to do. As long as they're not hurting anybody, let them do what they want to do. All right, so we got that. I think I need to take this purple right here on the bottom middle and kind of put that over here to kind of blend these shades in a little bit. I don't think this looks bad, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was the right day to play around, but oh well, it is what it is. Hopefully it turns out okay once I get all the rest of my makeup on. I'm trying really hard to make this look nice. I was at work one day and I was talking about how my son went up to Seattle, and so I took him up there and dropped him off, and then I went back up and picked him up, and one of the girls at work was like, "That's too much." Says who? I mean, it is. It's exhausting. It can be very exhausting. Driving him up to Seattle, coming home, sleeping for a little bit, and then having to go all the way back up there to pick him up again. It can be a lot. But you know what? I'd rather do that than have him drunk driving. You know, I'd rather know that he's safe. And I've always told him that if he ever got into a situation, you know, any situation, I don't care what time it is, call me and I will come get you. Because I don't want him getting in a vehicle with people who have been drinking. I don't want him getting in a vehicle when he's been drinking. You know what I mean? I would rather be a little bit tired and drive up there and get him than risk it, you know? But most of the time it seems like a lot of his friends that go to these like rave events get hotel rooms and actually stay in the city, which is smart, very smart. That makes me a little more confident about, you know, the people that he's hanging out with and making friends with, you know? So there's that. But who is somebody to tell me what I can and can't do for my kid? You know, he's my kid. He's my one and only. So, yeah, I'm going to be there for him when he needs me. And then there was somebody else at work, and I was telling them that I had taken Flex to drive him over to, I think it was when he went to the event at the Gorge. And she was like, is that something you want to do? Or no, maybe that was an event in Seattle, I think. And I was like, well, it doesn't matter. He asked me if I would take him, and I said yes. Like, it's not about what I want, it's about making sure my son is safe. But she doesn't have kids, so I don't know that she really understands. How is this looking, guys? I think I might want to deepen this up a little bit. They're all very, very pastel-y shades. All right, now I'm going to take this darker shade up in the top, and I think I'm going to use that as a liner. Should I spray this? Because I don't want to have any fallout. I know some people are like, oh, you shouldn't have to spray your shadow to make it work for you, but maybe it's not necessarily spraying it to make it work for yourself. Maybe you're spraying it to keep it from falling out on your face. And I understand that doing your base after you do your eye look, it shouldn't matter if you have fallout. But yeah, there's fallout happening there. But I usually use the spray my brushes to just keep the fallout from happening, because usually I do my base first, because that's just what feels more comfortable for me. Like, some people will be like, I don't know why people do their base first and not their eyes. Well, if it's something that you've always done and it's comfortable for you, why wouldn't you do it that way? You know what I mean? I have been trying to try different methods, but still, honestly, doing my base first is more, it's just more comfortable for me. That's all, you know? I always feel like when I do my eyes first, that I'm gonna mess it up when I put my foundation on, you know what I mean? And then I'll do my brows and I go to do my foundation and I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up my brows. So for me, I just tend to gear towards doing my base first and then my eye look. So I'm just gonna finish up, blend everything out, get my hair and everything done, and then I'll be back to show you guys the final look. What time is it? Ooh, I got like 30 minutes and then I gotta be out the door. My Tuesday, I don't want to go to work on Easter Sunday. It sucks sometimes working for the place that I work for, because holidays don't exist anymore. And it's just kind of nice when you have that extra time off, you know what I mean? But anyways, I'm gonna get off of here because I've probably been rambling like a complete idiot. And I'll be back with the final look, so don't go anywhere. Okay, guys. I ran out of time this morning. So I just got home from work a little bit ago. This is all day wear. I did kind of take my little poofy poof and, soak up any shininess that I had going on. I usually don't get too shiny, but just a little bit. But this is what we've got going on with the Tokyo palette. I really love it. It's a really pretty, like, pastel look. So you can play with color without it being like bam in your face. You know what I mean? It's pastel. It's light. It's not, really dark. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is a really great palette for people who are beginning to play with color a little bit, because you can like play with this a little bit with color and then kind of work your way up to getting into darker shades of color. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. But we've got this shade, and I used this shade and this shade. I also used this shade. Yeah, I think that's all I got on my lids. This is a really pretty purple. I really like this. I think I used this a little bit too. So I used these two, and then I used this one. I think I used a little bit of this too, and then this. It's hard to remember. You know, this morning was a long time ago, so my brain's kind of fried. Anyways, but I love this palette. I love Nomad. Highly recommend checking them out. This palette isn't available anymore, but so many other amazing palettes to choose from. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. There will be a playlist linked down below with the other ladies. I highly recommend you click on the playlist, hit play all, and check out what the other ladies are doing with their looks this week. And remember that don't ever let anybody tell you that you're wrong for dressing how you want, doing your hair how you want, wearing your makeup how you want. As long as you're not hurting anybody and you feel like the best, what is it that Riri says? The best version of yourself. As long as you feel like the best version of yourself and you feel beautiful, then who cares what anybody else thinks? You know, there's days where I do my makeup and I'm like, I just feel really good about myself. I feel like I did a really good job with my look and I feel really pretty, you know, or my hair, I have a really good hair day and maybe somebody else wouldn't think that it fits my age or whatever, but I'm the one wearing it. And if I feel confident and I love myself with whatever it is that I'm wearing or doing my makeup, however I want to do my makeup or my hair, if I'm feeling like the best version of myself, then it shouldn't matter what anybody else thinks, because your confidence and your heart come through when you feel confident. So do your makeup how you want, do your hair how you want, dress how you want, how you feel confident and how you feel beautiful. And don't ever let anybody tell you it's wrong. It's not wrong. If you feel good about yourself, then it's completely right. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I love you all so very much. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. Take care. Stay safe. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy this kind of stuff, as well as a lot of other things, the RBSG is the last Thursday of every month. But if you enjoy this kind of stuff, I hope you will join the family, Nene's Glam Squad. Just go down below, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn the notification bell up to all. That way, hopefully YouTube will send out a notification and let you know, hey, Renee uploaded a video and you can come on over. Thumbs up really helps out the channel, lets YouTube know that you're enjoying my content, and maybe you'll push me out so other people can come join the family as well. And leave a comment down below. Say hi. Let me know that you stopped by. Let me know what do you think of the look. And hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.